Hey everybody, we're back at E3 here at the Twitch TV booth, and we have another exciting game lined up to you. It's going to be non-stop all week, but right now we have Dungeon Defenders 2 here. Joining me is Philip. Philip, do you want to tell us what you do for Dungeon Defenders 2?
Hey, yeah, I'm a marketing designer at Trendy Entertainment.
Cool, and I want to take a quick look. We have gameplay footage here of Dungeon Defenders 2. Now, you have been working on this game. Did you also work on the original Dungeon Defenders? Yep. Cool, so what have you learned from the original game that you really wanted to bring back to fans in Dungeon Defenders 2?
So I think there's 4 main things that we learned from the original game that we wanted to fix, or not fix, but improve upon. One of them was making the tower defense even more fun and more in-depth. The second one was integrating the tower defense and RPG elements even more than we had before. And then we also wanted to expand the scope of the story and make the game more social.
Cool. So what you guys have going on here is a really fun art style and an approach to tower defense that you don't see too often. So what is your character capable of doing?
Okay, so right now we're looking at the apprentice hero from the second game. You can see he's much grown up from the tot that he was in the first game. And he's kind of our mage character for the tower defense game. A lot of his towers are projectiles. You can actually see one of his brand new towers on the right side of the screen here. It's the Fire Fiend tower, and it actually shoots a fireball projectile that bounces off of up to 8 enemies. So you can kind of damage through the whole crowd of.
And so how many different heroes do you have in this game?
So this is one way where the sequel is vastly improved from the first game, in that we already have 24 heroes.
Wow. That
you'll be able to play the tower defense mode with. And they're all going to have their own towers and own abilities.
Well, this is more than a tower defense game. It also has RPG elements, and you're bringing into it a competitive MOBA aspect as well. So what is the story like among all these heroes? Is there like an overarching theme?
So there is, in fact. Basically, the MOBA is the introduction to the tower defense campaign. So basically, the game starts off, and all the heroes are in training for the oncoming threat to Etheria. And they're training by attacking each other's Eternia crystals in our competitive mode and defending them as practice against the oncoming hordes for the main campaign.
And what kind of progression can players look forward to? Now we have a competitive MOBA mode, we have the tower defense mode, we have the RPG aspect. How are your characters leveling up among all 3? Is it consistent, or is it 3 different games in one?
So this is really interesting. We're trying to combine the games as much as possible, but at the same time we want them to be balanced. So obviously in our loot fest of the tower defense mode, your characters are going to go from being not powerful to gods. But in the competitive gameplay, it needs to be much more balanced and consistent. So there are, in fact, 2 separate levels. There's a PvP level and a cooperative level, but you'll get benefits from both parts of the game through each of them.
One of the most exciting things I found out is that this is going to be a free-to-play game, and you guys are going to be supported by microtransactions. So what does free-to-play allow the audience to do with your game, and then how are the microtransactions going to be applied in a way that keeps the game fair?
So first of all, the game is not pay to win, and it never will be. Nothing in the game that affects your stats is available for purchase in any way, shape, or form. But what we do have is, in the core Dungeon Defenders game, we noticed a lot of people like new heroes and purchasing them, and we wanted to have even more heroes in the second game. So we figured the best way to do that was to price the heroes individually and basically allow you to start the game off with any 4 heroes you want for the same price as Dungeon Defenders 1. Then if you want to play as more heroes, you can find them in the game and unlock them, or you can purchase them to play sooner.
Now, one of the things you were telling me about is that you want to also have this purchasing, more of a community thing. You don't just want to go into the shop and buy your guys. You're looking to have people trade, to people interact over this. So what is your hope for the community as far as the microtransactions?
So one of the most important things in Dungeon Defenders 2 for us is that everything in the game, including heroes, including boosts, every microtransaction can be found. And then we have a lot of systems in place where you can trade these to other players. So while you may want to play as a barbarian, you might find the apprentice. So you trade someone online, the apprentice character, for the barbarian, and be able to play as them. And we're really hoping this helps improve one of the core issues that we had with the first game, was that the game is most fun when you play cooperative. But what if you don't have 3 friends to play with? And we're trying to institute all these different ways for people to find those 3 friends that they're going to want to go through the cooperative campaign with.
We've been putting a lot of work into the competitive mode as well as this tower defense mode. What were your inspirations for the MOBA?
So we took inspirations from a lot of different genres. Obviously, we're looking at Dungeon Defenders and trying to make something that fits within the realm that we established in the first game. But we're also taking a look at games like Smite and League of Legends and Dota, and games that really have a fair and balanced, structured competitive mode, and trying to adapt some of those rules to kind of the more fun Dungeon Defenders loose style.
And what kind of platforms can we expect to see this game on?
So basically, it's going to hit PC, Mac, and Linux first, and then we'll be releasing on mobile and web.
Great. I can't wait to play this on my phone. And actually, because I'm not always able to play, I'm a big fan of watching. And in the spirit of Twitch TV, there are a ton of people online broadcasting this game. There seems to be a big appeal to watch it. What are you guys doing in the way of like spectator mode or availability or understanding for someone who maybe hasn't played the game but is really into just kind of watching these guys play?
That's an awesome question. So we already have a spectator mode in the game for both the competitive and the cooperative mode. We have no official announcements as for now, but we are really looking towards having that be something that's implemented at launch for people to use. And of course, people even now stream Dungeon Defenders all the time. We at Trendy stream it every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern on our own channel, and we'd love for everyone to tune in and watch and talk to us.
That's great. When can we get our hands on this game?
We don't have an announced release date yet, but the competitive mode is in beta, and we are widening it by the day. So if you go to our site, DungeonDefenders2.com, and apply for the beta, you have a good shot of getting in the next month or so.
A really good shot, huh?
Yeah,
so if you
really
head over
good
to
shot.
that site and we can check this out. What kind of fans do you think are going to be attracted to this? I mean, you have the Dungeon Defenders fan base, and they're going to be learning about a lot of the new things that you're exploring as you add it to the game. But what other fans do you think should give this game a try?
I think we're going after a lot of different audiences. So people who like large role-playing games like Diablo or Loot Fest, this is something that they should really look forward to, the cooperative campaign. It is that, but also with some strategy elements mixed in. We're also trying to get maybe not players of the existing MOBAs, because they already have their game of choice, but players who'd like to play a MOBA, but the existing ones are too challenging or there's too much of a learning curve to play them, and maybe get them into our game type, whether it's through the campaign that they enjoy playing and then they try out the PvP or vice versa.
Well, you said you're looking to expand at least to mobile and PC. How are those games going to match up? Am I going to be able to log into my same account from my phone as from my computer?
So you'll be able to log into the same account from your phone as from your computer and play with the same heroes. We're currently doing a lot of testing in-house to see how matchmaking will work between the platforms, but it will be the same game in essence.
Great. And because I am, a MOBA fan, that's one of the games I really like to play. It's interesting when you play a tower defense, you function through towers. What are you doing to kind of swap these characters over for the MOBA mode?
So each of the characters kind of have a role that they play in MOBA. Those are widely known, as well as in the tower defense mode, and those are going to be consistent between the modes. And the abilities from the MOBA will carry over to the tower defense mode. So a great example is that, you just saw the Apprentice uses Mana Bomb, which is available in both modes and has a similar purpose. We also have a new ability for the Apprentice called Flame Bolt, which is in the MOBA, which allows him to shoot through enemies a giant fireball at a set distance, and that's also shown in the tower defense mode. So a good way to look at it is in the MOBA, your defenses are already set, and you're using your hero's abilities against other players, whereas in the tower defense mode, you also get to set the defenses and play against the NPCs.
Well, is there anything else you want to let potential fans of this game know? Anyone watching, where they can find this information and how they get their hands on it, maybe get in that beta?
So if anyone wants to get into beta, once again, go to DungeonDefenders2.com, and you'll be able to register there. And we hope that you enjoy looking at this first look at the cooperative gameplay.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Philip. It's really exciting, and I can't wait to check that out. And I'm going to get my shot at the beta, so I'll sign up later. But
Sweet.
Thanks so much, guys. We'll be back with more games soon.
Thank you.